at winidraw ng private prosecutor Mario Bautista ang kanyang query on the peso accounts. Makikita rin natin dito na sinusubukang i-establish ng prosecution sa kanilang cross-examination na hindi arbitrary action ang ginawa ni Ombudsman Carpio Morales. Kaya tinanong niya isa-isa kung ano yung mga ahensya na sinulatan at isinubpina ng Ombudsman para tignan at magkaroon ng sapat na aksyon sa mga bagay-bagay. Inuna niya ang Supreme Court na hiningi ang SALN ng Chief Justice. Kasama rin dito ang Head na Accounting Office para sa mga salaries at iba't ibang mga benefits na nakukuha ng Chief Justice sa SC. Subalit, sinabi ng parehong dibisyon na hindi nila ito mabibigay at walang compliance as of the moment. Makikita rin natin na sinulatan ng House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal ukol sa mga allowances, bonuses, etc. ng Chief Justice habang nandito siya. We served this purpose during the past election. Subalit, at dito, nag-comply ang House Electoral Tribunal. Kasama rin dito ang Senate Electoral Tribunal na pare-pareho mang hiningi at nag-comply din sila. Makikita natin na tinanong ang BIR bilang isang dibisyon, subalit up to now, sinasabi na wala pang compliance sa bahagi ng BIR at pinuntahan naman ng COA na kung saan, ito na nga po, nakita natin na nilabas ang analysis of dollar accounts ng Chief Justice at which na humingi ng assistance ang Ombudsman. Para rin sabihin na wala pong arbitrary action ukol dito, makikita natin na binigyan ang Chief Justice ng pagkakataon na mag-reply for 72 hours na nakuha naman ng kanyang mga abogado at mga kasama. At so far, ito yung naging recap ng cross-examination para sa araw na ito. Ngayon, kasama ko po ang ating isang teacher at social entrepreneur. May alam to sa digits, sa numbers. Kasama natin ngayon si Carl sa Tinitigan. Carl, anong nakita mo doon sa presentasyon ng dollar accounts, ng figures and numbers? At makita natin napakarami nung accounts ng Chief Justice. Ano sa tingin niya sa common tao, anong makikita nila dito?
Nakakahinala lang yung mga numero na nabanggit, no. May nakausap ako security guard kahapon malapit sa amin. Kinikwento niya na kung exciting nga na maipaliwanag ito ng Chief Justice. Kasi kung baka nga may dahilan, pero at the end of the day, talagang nakakalula po yung mga numero. Imagine lang kung bakit umabot sa ganito yung numero, bakit dumaan sa kanya yung pera, etc. Kasi parang sa dami-dami ng lumabas na informasyon kahapon at today, maraming kailangang ipaliwanag ang Chief Justice.
Pero Carl, nasabi ni Attorney Trixie Angeles kanina bago siya umalis, meron daw parang tila merong fund managers. May konsepto ng fund management sa mga bangko. Familiar ka ba sa ganitong klaseng practice?
Medyo konti, dahil nag-discuss namin sa paaralan. Pero tama yan, may nagmamanage ng mga funds. Lalo na pag malalaki yung account, may nag-a-advise kung saan napupunta yung pera, may nagsasabi kung ilang accounts ba yung pwedeng gawin para mas ma-maximize yung pera or yung fund at para mas efficient yung pagkuha ng pera, pag-deposit, etc. So, meron pong ganyan.
Kasi kung makita natin, Kathy, yung 80-plus accounts ay tilang hirap yata i-handle ng isang tao.
Siyempre.
At nakapangalan sa isang tao.
Lalo na for a busy guy like Chief Justice Corona, malamang may mga ibang taong involved na tumutulong sa kanya. Like any other individual na may maraming pera.
Ikaw, Carl, ikaw ay constantly nag-update tungkol dito sa mga nangyayari sa social networking sites. Ano-ano yung mga nakikita mong mga sentimiento ng mga tao?
Actually, iba-iba din. Yung lumitaw talaga kahapon habang nanonood ka sa mga social networking sites, yung reaction nila sa testimony ni Ombudsman Carpio Morales. Marami nagsasabi na kalmado na siya, cool na cool, parang alam niya yung ginagawa niya. So maraming humahanga kay Ombudsman. Although meron din naman nagsasabi na malamang mga pro-corona na nagsasabi na medyo may marami na nakakalimutan si Ombudsman. Yung mga sinasabi daw niya dito parang hindi naman siya yung mismo yung may alam. Pero mas marami pa rin na-amaze dun sa galing na ipinakita ni Ombudsman kahapon at kanina na parang kahit si Justice Cuevas parang na-intimidate kahit papano dun sa naganap kahapon.
Punta naman tayo dun sa para legal analysis dito. Kasama natin si Attorney Manny Luna. Sige, Kathy, ikaw na ang unang tanong.
Okay, kanina, Attorney Luna, ay nakausap namin si Attorney Jimeno. At sinabi niya nagpulong sila kagabi ni Chief Justice Corona kasama ang mga abogado. At dinenay daw ng punong mahistrado ang pag-aari dito sa mga accounts na ito na nagmula sa report ng AMLA. Sa tingin nyo, ano ang dapat gawin naman ng prosecution kung meron man para mapatotohanan naman itong authenticity nitong report na ito?
On our end, wala namang kaming nakikitang surprise doon sa ginawa nila because it's expected that they will deny the whole thing. Besides, the witness that they presented is their witness. So, insofar as the prosecution is concerned, we will ride on this, considering that it's they who presented the ombudsman, and the ombudsman is just telling what she did. So, the prosecution, sa side po natin, we are not surprised at all kung sasabihin nila that these accounts don't exist. Because it's really expected that the respondent would deny these accounts.
Pero sa tingin nyo po, sino yung makakapagpatotoo tungkol dito sa accounts na ito? Sino yung tamang tao? Because the ombudsman was obviously reading from a report submitted to her.
Insofar as the conduct of the fact-finding investigation is concerned, fact-finding ho, this is not yet a formal investigation from what I've learned from the witness. This is based upon a report coming from the AMLAC. And that report is the basis of the testimony of the witness. So, sa tingin po namin, from the evidentiary point of view, the report itself is evidence. If you are talking about other sources, then at this point, I think we are not in a position to speak on that because there's an ongoing trial and still the turn of the defense to present their evidence.
Pero attorney, puntahan natin yung naging cross-examination for today ni Attorney Mario Bautista. Sa tingin niyo po ba na-establish na hindi arbitrary itong ginawa ng ombudsman?
That appears to be so because judging from the testimony of the witness, it appears that she based it on credible evidence, particularly on certain reports, monitoring reports by the AMLAC. And the ombudsman means business when she said that. I don't think so that the ombudsman would tell us something which will turn out to be false. Because it's part of her mandate to really inquire into the conduct, transactions, assets, liabilities, net worth, and other transactions, businesses, of public officials. So, I have no reason to doubt the credibility of our ombudsman.
So in this light, is the 72 hours reply that the ombudsman requested enough for the Chief Justice to magbigay ng tugon?
Well, based sa procedure ng office ng ombudsman, that's really the period normally given to a respondent facing a probe by such office. So, to my mind, a 72-hour period is reasonable under the circumstances. But of course, the respondent could always ask for an extension. But in this case, it appears that he did not ask for an extension, but rather question the jurisdiction of the office of the ombudsman.
May ilan-ilan pong nagsasabi kabilang na yung ilan mga lawyers na
Yes.
masyado daw pong naging damaging para sa kay Chief Justice itong mga lumabas dito sa testimonya ni Ombudsman Morales. And it seems na it's not wise anymore for the Chief Justice to appear before the impeachment court. Ano po ang masasabi nyo bilang isang abogado rin?
I think there's more reason now for the respondent to appear and testify and try to rebut all these allegations and testimony. Besides, sila naman po ang nag-present kay Ombudsman Carpio Morales, hindi naman po ang prosecution. So, if they think that something went wrong, doon sa kanilang strategy, then that's their problem. It's not the problem of the prosecution.
But did you think that the defense did not foresee this report coming out in the trial?
I don't think so. The membership of the defense consists of seasoned litigators. So probably they have factored this when they decided to present her. But, you know, there are things that may happen in a trial which may go beyond your expectation.
Kung gayon po, kung sa tingin nyo nakikinikinita naman nila na maaaring ilabas nga ito, what could have been the reason for still presenting the ombudsman? Hindi po kaya meron silang taktika na maaaring palabasin during the following days?
Alam mo, nandyan na yan eh. It's already there. It has been unleashed. It's just like letting go of an animal or a cat. So, lumabas na siya. How could you stop it now? They have unleashed it, so they will have to continue with it until its logical conclusion. Nasa trial na po yan. So, we'll have to see what will happen. Kasi turn po nila ito eh. So, they will have to handle it the best they can.
Cart, puntahan kita. Nagkaroon ng mga statements, iba't iba na nasabi ng Chief Justice na the Ombudsman is creating a lantern of lies. Ano yung naging public perception ng taong bayan ukol sa pagtestigo ni Ombudsman Morales?
Sa tingin ko po, marami pong naniniwala na may katotohanan yung sinasabi ni Ombudsman kasi parang medyo credible talaga yung dating niya sa karamihan ng mga manonood. At nakita mo naman kung sumagot siya, parang talagang alam niya yung sinasabi niya. At nakita din natin na yung mga kasama niya dun sa pag-analyze or pag-present, parang credible din. Like si COA Commissioner Heidi Mendoza na tumulong din sa analysis or sa fact-finding. So parang maraming naniniwala na may katotohanan dito. Ang tanong na lang is kung paano ito i-explain ng Chief Justice.
Attorney Luna, kanina po medyo nagkaroon ng pagtatalo between Attorney Bautista and Attorney Justice Cuevas at maging kay Ombudsman dahil nagreklamo po si Justice Cuevas na kino-coach daw po itong si Ombudsman. In a normal court setting, ano po ba talaga ang dapat?
You know, things like that happen. Nangyayari po yan. Especially when the issues get hotter and the subject matter of the controversy is very important, as in this case. So there are things that may happen in a regular proceeding, just like in this case, na pwedeng mangyari, gaya nung kanina. It's natural. Sa akin po, with all the years, yung humble experience natin sa trial for over a decade, mas malubha pa dyan nangyari. Because sometimes friction happens between or among litigators from either side.
Pero yung po bang testigo ay allowed na bulungan or paalalahanan, sabi nga ni Ombudsman, nire-remind lang daw po siya.
Actually,
o dapat
she was
po siya?
not being coached. I saw and observed the trial. Hindi naman ganon. Because of the voluminous documents that she was asked to produce and to testify on, she had to be assisted by her staff. And that is natural or normal in such an instance. So, medyo hindi naman siguro tama if we criticize her. The Ombudsman